personally, I like challenges, it makes it more interesting. It makes it more fun. It makes it more exciting. It certainly makes it more stressful. But I think that the team will definitely step up to that challenge, whatever it might be.
Do you know the relay lineups for day one yet?
You wish, Colvin.
I do wish.
I don't know that we're going to be changing too much from ACCs. Our relays at ACCs were pretty good. So I don't know that we'll be changed. I don't know that we'll be switching around too much, but most of the relays are a game day decision, especially not so much that first day. Those will probably pretty much be set, but after that, it's kind of like, all right, who looks the best? Hopefully they all look great, but who's like really, really flying, and we'll put whoever's hot on the relays.
You've gone through this process before, or even just looking from last year, from conference to NCs, when you won the title. You were chasing an NCAA title last year. You're chasing the title again this year, coming off of a conference championship. Do you look back from last year specifically and learn anything about that process, that in between from conference to NCs, or specifically that you've picked up from last year?
I think probably just that what we did last year worked really well. I think we were able to, come off of ACCs last year and be just as good at NCAAs, if not better, in a lot of instances. I think 4 out of our 5 relays last year at NCAAs were faster than they were at ACCs. So, I think just being able to look back and know that the recipe, I guess you could say, that we have between the two competitions has worked pretty well. And certainly we tweak things and we want to do even better. Like I said, last year we had 4 out of 5 relays faster. So this year, can we have 5 out of 5 faster? Certainly, I think that is going to be even more of a challenge considering how fast our relays were at ACCs. Even to me, they were shockingly fast. So I'll be shocked again, even more, if we were able to be faster. I don't know how you get too much faster. We'll see.
From the ACC meet, did you pick up anything just about the ACC competition on the women's side that you expect going into NCAAs?
I think one thing I thought was really good about ACCs was that we had as from a team, overall team perspective, we had a good challenge, from NC State. It was a great meet. They kept it close pretty much the entire meet. And I think that was good for our women because, last year we went into ACCs and we ran away with the meet. We went to NCAAs and ran away with that. And I don't know, won by over 100 points. Certainly don't think that NCAAs is going to be that way this year. So I think to have a close competition with another team just sets us up really well to be able to handle, whatever challenges and whatever extra pressure and stress come with, getting into a tight team battle.
Hey, Todd, a lot of really good swimmers have talked about how overwhelming NCAAs can be for them the first year, and how there's an adjustment period. That clearly wasn't an issue for Alex Walsh last year. Do you feel Gretchen and Emma in particular, because of their international experience, will be able to handle this well?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It certainly is different because, with Emma being at the Olympics and Gretchen having been at Junior Worlds and Nationals and other international competitions, it's a lot more of an individual thing. So actually there's a little bit more pressure and there's a little bit more stress and anxiety when it comes to that. The team environment that we have definitely, I think, dilutes that a little bit of that pressure and stress. They just get excited to be around their teammates. They get excited for their teammates and watching them race and, doing relays together, and swimming for each other just makes things, it just makes it a little bit more comforting, a little bit just, I guess I would say less stressful. For example, when you look at Gretchen to take the 50 free, there's a chance that her and Kate might be, Kate Douglas might be right next to each other in the final. That I would think would be pretty comforting to the two of them. And, it's like practice, right? They've done it a million times. Emma Weyant might be right next to Alex Walsh or Ellen Nelson in the 400 IM, in prelims or finals. And so I think that instead of being alone out there at the Olympics, Emma Weyant was in the Olympic final alone. If she was by herself, around a lot of different swimmers from around the world and just by herself. And, I think being next to one of her teammates would probably help her just to, relax a little bit.
This is Chris with thesummer.com. You're picking up a lot of casual fans over the last 12 months, 15 months with the Olympics and winning the national title and all that sort of stuff. We've seen this as covering Virginia for a long time with baseball, with men's tennis. So you're kind of on a ride with the fans, and they don't really know a lot about people other than the Olympians. I think of like Ellen Nelson and Wenger and people like that are contributing. Are there people that jump out to you? And you could probably go through your whole roster, obviously, but you just talk about some of these people that casual fans may not even know their name right this second.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. There are a lot of them. We have 17 qualified, 14 swimmers and 3 divers. And, every one of them could, and we hope will score points for the team. And even to just score 1 point at NCAA is a monumental accomplishment. It's arguably one of the fastest, meets in the world every year, just because it's Americans, it's international athletes, again, half the Olympic team will be there, both on the men's and women's side. So, like you mentioned, Alexis Wenger, she's one of the fastest breaststrokers in the history of the NCAA. I think only 3 or 4, Coleman would know better, but 3 or 4 women have ever broken 57, and she's one of them. 3 or 4 women in history, not this year, in history, have broken 57, and she's one of them. So, she has, one of the fastest 50 breaststroke splits in history. She's on our American record-setting relays for both medley relays, and she's, never really done any summer long course racing. Lexi Cuomo is another one. She's on our American record-setting 200 medley relay and 200 free relay. And a great sprint freestyle butterflyer for our team. Just a great leader, a hard worker, and she'll score quite a few points for the team as well. Her Lexi Cuomo, and I every day in practice, I call one of them Lex and one of them Lexi, and I always mix it up, and call them the wrong name. But they're 2 of our leaders, 2 of our hard workers. Wenger is obviously a 4th year, so she'll be graduating this year, so she'll be certainly missed. Jessie Nava is another one. She's one that she's a 4th year senior captain for us. Was an All-American last year in 100 butterfly. Hopes to repeat that, and hopefully even, she won ACCs last year in the 200 butterfly. So hoping she can score in both of those this year, and she'll certainly be it has been and will continue to be a great leader for us through the next week. You've got some young girls, 2nd years, Anna Keating and Abby Harder, who, are probably a little bit lesser known as well, but certainly can score big points for us at NCAAs. Abby scored last year in the 200 butterfly. Anna's a great breaststroker that's just kind of been improving quite a bit over the last 2 years since she's been here. So there is, it's going to take all of them to win. Our Olympians certainly will boost the score, but they can't carry a team to a title. I think last year we had 10 girls score last year at NCAA. So it's going to take all of them, not just your top end, but it'll take your depth as well. And we've got some great opportunities for divers to score this year as well. Lizzie Kay is a 1st year, and she is, she's probably one of the best freshmen in the country. I don't think we've ever had a female score points at NCAAs in diving. So we got 3 qualified, and our zone this year is a bit more challenging to make NCAAs out of than it has been in the past. So I think that bodes well for their potential to score and contribute to the team next week as well.
I think Alexis is going to jump on here in like 2 minutes.
Oh, I didn't talk long enough, huh?
Yeah, come on, Todd. You usually go on a little bit longer.
Questions were too easy. Coleman, are you going to be there?
I'll be there. Yeah. Alexis is one of 4 women who have gone 56.
4.
Lily King, Molly Hannes, and Sophie Hansson, and then her.
And Molly wasn't in college though, right? She was post grad.
Right.
So
Yeah.
really just 3 NCAA athletes.
Yep.
She, it's funny. You can ask her about this if you want, but her and Sophie Hansson, they're the same year. They've been racing each other for 4 years. This is their 4th year. And, we joke about it, and Lex will joke about it too all the time. Sophie just got her number. She just, somehow, she's got a magic touch.
Especially this year, right? I mean,
somehow out touches Lex in the 100 breaststroke like every year. Specifically at ACC, it's almost comical.
yeah, especially this year, that was a great race.
Yeah,
it's a real no.
It was, and I told Lex after prelims, I was like, she's, getting a little anxious about the final, and I was like, look, if you just go for a time, you're racing the clock. If you go 56 and you get beat, you cannot be mad. I mean, people, it's not like people casually go 56. So, and she did, and I was like, holy cow, it's rarely are there 2 56s in one heat, especially at a conference level. I mean, it's probably never happened. Well,
I don't think it has.
Never. Well, it hasn't because
right.
There's only one other person who's done it. Yeah. That's the first time in history 2 people have gone in a conference meet. I wonder if it's ever happened at NCAAs before. 2 56s. I don't.
Yeah. Again, because
it couldn't have. It couldn't have.
It's just Lily. And that's it. Yeah.
That's the first time in NCAA history that 2 girls have gone 56 in one heat. That's pretty impressive. Hey, Lex. Just talking about you.
Hi.
We just came up with a new stat, not a new stat, a stat. We just figured out that you and Sophie going 56 in the 100 breaststroke at ACCs was the first time in the history of the NCAA 2 women have gone 56 in one heat.
Oh.
Pretty pretty impressive. All right. Do I need to, Kristen, do I need to stay on?
You don't need to stay on. You're good.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Todd.
See you, Lex.
Bye.
All right. We'll go ahead and open it up for questions for Alexis.
Alexis, first off, could you just start by giving us an update on how you're feeling heading into NCAAs as a 4th year coming off the ACCs you had and, vying for a repeat national title?
Yeah. It's really exciting. It's definitely bittersweet. I think I'm just most looking forward to, putting everything into my last NCAAs and not like stressing about it as much as I normally do and just, letting it like being happy with whatever happens, whatever the outcome may be. I know we're all super, super excited and it's crazy. It's literally in a few days. So I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, Alexis, this is Jeff White from VirginiaSports.com. Does it feel, in what ways does it feel different this season from a team standpoint going in as the defending champion, the hunted, as opposed to going in seeking the team title like you did last year?
Yeah, I think it's definitely super different just because my second year and last year, we were both kind of like still the underdogs. We were rated first, but no one really knew if we could actually pull it off. So going into it this year being actually the targeted is definitely different, but I think our team does a really good job at kind of quieting all the noise and just doing what we do best and not worrying about what any other team does. We really just try to focus on what we can do better, not what other people are doing. So I don't think having now a target on our back is going to make too much of a difference, like nerves wise. I think we're ready for it just as we were the past couple of years.
The ACC meet this year you did not run away with the team title. Are there benefits to having, come out of a really competitive meet like that, knowing that NCAAs could be the same way?
Yeah. I think last year was just a weird kind of year, just especially with, clearly COVID and a lot of people redshirting, taking a year off to stay safe. I think we all are aware that it's definitely not going to be as easy as it was last year to come off with the title. NC State has always been one of our top competitors, and we were super excited to see them get second last year as well. So we're looking forward to a kind of similar battle with them. They always keep us on our toes. They're all super, super, super fast. And I don't know, I think how ACCs went will kind of set us up. Like the last day of ACCs, I just remember all of us were kind of honed in and making sure we just did our best to out-touch an NC State person in one of our heats. And, I think that kind of amps up the competition a little bit more and just makes it all more exciting. And, we're able to get behind our teammates when one of them does do that.
Right before you hopped on, we were talking about the dynamic between you and Sophie Hansson of NC State. You two have been racing for the last 4 years. A lot of close battles with you two. Can you talk about how that dynamic has impacted you over the last 4 years?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Sophie is great. It's definitely a really fun rivalry, but there's no bad blood. It's not like anyone's angry at the other. I think for me, she has helped me achieve my goals. She's my number one competitor. She's so talented. I feel like the past years I've always been really scared and always hopeful, trying to race her because she's super tall and super powerful, and I've always just been super nervous, I feel but she has really brought out a competitive side in me that I'm really thankful for. I don't think that I would have been able to go 56 if it wasn't for her. So I'm looking forward to see what we can both do at NCAAs. I think it's going to be a really, really close race, regardless the whole heat wise. I think this year, just NCAAs is so much faster. So I'm really excited just to see what both of us can do, let alone just the whole entire heat. I know there's been across the board, a lot of people going really fast in the 100 breast. So I'm definitely excited for that.
You mentioned before that this was your last NCAAs. Are you for sure not going to take that optional 5th year? And if so, can you talk a little bit about what went into that decision?
Yeah, definitely. No, I think this is definitely going to be my last. Not anything bad wise. I just think, swimming for so long, that is just, I'm kind of finding my peace with it. And I think I'm at a period in my life where I'm super excited to kind of just move to the next chapter. And I've come to terms with, I want to do super well for my team at this time, but college swimming this is just trying to put this in better words, I guess. I don't know. I just think that I'm at a good place in my life where this is a good time to, just come to an end. I don't think that I need to stick around for my team to continue to be successful. We are full of amazing individuals, and I'm super excited for the next chapter in my life. I'm going to be in the stands. I mean, I guess I'll be there next year, just not as a swimmer. I'll be there supporting my teammates for sure. I just think that I know what I want in this next period of my life. And I think swimming I've just grown out of it in a good way. I'm really excited for this to be my last NCAAs, just because I feel really, for the first time, I feel I just feel really good about where I am with swimming. And, looking back on my career, I don't really feel I have anything that I didn't accomplish. I'm really happy with where I'm at. So I think with that, it's a good place to kind of just be on my final, last meet. I mean, it's definitely tough for my parents. I think they're also coming to terms with it. But they're just as excited as I am. You
mentioned that it's not always easy being an NCAA athlete. And during your time at Virginia, through that journey, you've continued to improve every single year, which is not the case for the majority of collegiate athletes in any sport. I know that's kind of a big question, but can you talk a little bit about what has led you to improve every season, and and again, led you to this point of like, all right, I'm kind of at the pinnacle. I'm happy with where I'm at. I can step away now.
Yeah. I think my junior and senior year, I really struggled with swimming a lot just because I wasn't improving. I went really quick my freshman and sophomore year of high school, and then, started to just not do as well. And I was really just even grappling with the thought of not swimming in college at all. And then like when I talked to Todd, I really believed that he believed in me, and he saw something in me that I don't even think I saw at the time. And I just think every year we always have like at end of the season meetings with Todd, and he's always been like, I don't think you've hit what you're capable of yet. Like, I think that you have more. And I kind of knew that too. I just didn't know how much. And this year, like my goal has always been like to go 56 in the 100 breaststroke, if not faster, but the 56 was always my goal. That's what he said coming in when I was getting recruited. He's like, I think you can be a 56 breaststroker. And I was like, whoa, like that's crazy. But I don't know. I just think every year we focus on something different to work on. Like my first year was just seeing what I could do. Then I started really focusing on my stroke count. Then it was like I knew my kick was really strong, starting to focus on my pulse. There's just always something new that we could focus on, which I think really helped. And I think another thing that helped me improve was like I've always really wanted to win the 100 breast at NCAAs. I know Sophie has won it 3 times, but I think that just like kept my fight going. Regardless of what happens, like I'm going to be happy. But even after prelim swims of ACCs, when I went, I think it was like 57-2. Like Todd was like, "Hey, look, like, don't think about anyone else. Just think about yourself. Like it doesn't matter what place you get. Like tonight in finals, if you can go 56, like." That's all you want to do. Like you can go 56, like that's all that matters. And I was like, you're right. And I like could barely sleep that day, couldn't take a nap, was stressing out. And then like going 56, like Todd had told me after, he's like, look, like that is something that, only a few people have ever done. Like be happy with that. And I mean, I was clearly. So I just think like, being able to hit my goals every year, like you said, is something that, not all people get to do. So I'm eternally grateful to Todd and my teammates for that. I feel like they've helped me along the way. So I don't know. I just feel like even if something were to happen and I weren't able to swim at NCAAs, I feel like positive that I could look back at my career and be happy with it, regardless of even going at 56. Like even not even just swimming wise, just all the relationships I've built. We're such a family. So even like swimming aside, I would be happy just for the experience that I've had these past 4 years at Virginia. It's been like no other. So
Todd mentioned before that you hadn't done a ton of long course swimming in the summers. Is there a particular reason for that?
I don't know if this is just like me and me just being really stubborn. I just do not like long course. And I feel like I've read a few of the SwimSam comments about like, oh my God, like her fastest 100 breast is only 109. Like that's weird. And it's like, yeah, because I never swim it. And I don't know, there's so many amazing breaststrokers out there. So I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like this is partially another reason why I'm like kind of not moving another step forward with swimming, just because that would be mostly long course. I mean, going pro, it's a lot of long course meets. I don't really I dread training long course. I don't know, something about it. I need my walls. I need my pullouts. That's just how I've always been. I don't know. I just think that I would not be really cut out for doing long course. And that might be a bad mentality, but that's just how my brain is wired at this point. So I don't really know what else to say. But I mean, yeah, it's just not my best friend. I need walls.
Power to you.
That's amazing. Anybody else have any questions for Alexis? All right. Thanks, Alexis. I really appreciate you jumping.
Yeah, of course. Sorry if that was kind of all over the place. I feel like I'm not really good at putting my words together, but I appreciate you guys taking the time to meet with me today.
You've been listening to the Swim Swam podcast. Stay tuned for new episodes every week. You can take Swim Swam podcast on the go by subscribing on your favorite podcast platform. Look for links in the description below, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos as well.